Your lettuce has bolted, your spinach is finished, your radishes went woody, and every time you think about planting something new, the answer that comes back is, it is too late now. Wait until autumn. It is not too late. Stacey Murphy started her first Brooklyn farm in the middle of June and had a fully producing farm 2 months later. What changes above 85 degrees is not whether you can grow, it is what you grow. And in the next 5 minutes, she gives you the exact list. This Q&A was recorded at a past Grow Your Own Vegetables event, where Stacey Murphy answers what to plant when daily temperatures climb above 85 degrees. For more information, free resources, and gentle guidance, you can find us at growyourownvegetables.org. And to grow alongside other gardeners just like you, join our free community at gyov.org.
Are there crops you suggest that are short-growing but will handle the hot spikes? Okay, so Wendy, you're not alone. I'm hearing from a lot of people. This happens every season, so know that you are not unique, that this happens to a lot of people. We want to start our gardens, and then life gets in the way, and we have to go do something, and for whatever reason, we don't get our garden in as early as we could, and that's totally normal. And remember, I showed those pictures earlier in the lesson from, let's see if I can put that up here. So I got started, my first farm in Brooklyn was in June. It was like mid-season. And 2 months later, I had a full-fledged, farm going on. So know that it is never too late. That is for sure. And sometimes you just get started a little late in the season. It's okay. So what do you do? Let's say your daily temperatures start to rise above 85 degrees Fahrenheit. So I know that parts of Oregon, the temperatures really don't get above 80, but then other parts of Oregon, they do get above 85. So what do? At that point, you're starting to get into the range of crops that they really want, the crops that like the heat, things like eggplant, tomatoes, and okra, and peppers, and cucumbers. Chard is still there. Kale is still up there. So some of those greens are still up there as well. So if you're finding yourself in this place where you're starting your challenge and the days are getting warmer, and maybe if you look out 40 days from now, you think, oh my gosh, if I plant this food now, some of the things like the lettuces and the radishes, they might not make it because it's going to get too hot. So what do? You might want to think about a 60-day challenge. And I know we don't really cover these crops in this course, but planning for your eggplant, your tomatoes, your peppers, summer squash, cucumber, beans, cabbage, kale, collards, chard, and okra, those are all things that are going to love that heat. And they're all things that are going to be ready in the 55-day range, some sooner. Your beans maybe sooner. Your kale and your collards are going to start to grow, and you're going to be able to harvest them before the 55 days. You'll probably be able to harvest them after 30 days or even 21 days. Little baby, leaves of those, maybe not big full-size leaves, but little baby leaves. And so maybe think about a 60-day challenge and what that would look like, and could you plan for that? And then crops that are similar to greens that will withstand the heat. So
this is the switch. The cool season 40-day crops are finished. The heat lovers need about 55 days. Plan for 60 and you have a full autumn harvest ahead of you.
And the heat. So I put a star next to arugula, beets, and turnips. These are things that are in the 40-day challenge that may deal with temperatures above 85 if they get a little bit of shade. So maybe they're underneath other crops, even things like heat-resistant lettuces. So if you ever look for a lettuce that you want to grow in the summer, look for a heat-resistant lettuce. That's the magic word. And along those same lines, some of the other less-known crops that really withstand the heat well, Malabar spinach, I had an image of that earlier, and I'll show it to you in a second, sorrel, amaranth, endive, chicory, radicchio, and Japanese cabbage to a certain degree too. All those things are going to withstand the heat, and they are ready 40 days probably for most of them, and some of them sooner. Malabar spinach and sorrel, you can start harvesting pretty soon after you plant it. So those are things that you might find rising to that challenge of heat resistant and short maturing. And I showed this earlier today, but this plant here is actually Malabar spinach. I just planted this a couple weeks ago in the garden. Oh no, actually it was about a week ago. Wow, it grew a lot in a week. But that's a Malabar spinach plant, and it's going to trellis. It's going to grow up this trellis, and it's going to be a beautiful vining green that is very spinach-like and very delicious. Okay, so what else? And most herbs like the heat too. So keep in mind that all your herbs you can intercrop. And
screenshot this. Malabar spinach in particular is worth ordering today. It vines up a trellis, it tastes like spinach, and it produces in heat that would bolt real spinach in a week.
And also keep in mind that if you live in a place that has enough moisture, let's say it's hot but it's still moist, you still have some rainfall, you could be growing, microgreens, things like arugula and lettuce and all of those crops, those greens that may not want to grow to full maturity in the heat because it's just too hot. They may make it these little baby plants. You might be able to grow them. And also, of course, you may be able to grow them indoors or in a tray somewhere in a cooler location. So think about all those things. And then also the idea of some sort of shade cloth is another possibility. If you get a lot of sunlight and it's hot, you could consider some shade cloth. So I hope that helps.
Above 85 degrees, you're not out of options. You are in different options. Plan for 60 days instead of 40. Eggplant, peppers, okra, beans, collards, chard, beets and turnips tucked under taller crops for shade. Malabar spinach and sorrel if you want something you have never grown before. And harvest your greens as baby leaves rather than waiting for full size. Stacey Murphy started a farm in June. You are not late. You are not the gardener who gives up in July anymore. If you want to keep learning from Stacey Murphy, join our free community of growers at goyv.org. And if you want more than one expert, imagine sitting down with 15 of the most respected gardeners, herbalists, and soil scientists on the planet, each sharing the single most powerful lesson they know. That is the Superfood Garden Summit, and it is completely free. Go to growyourownvegetables.org/summit, register in 30 seconds, and start watching immediately.